there, stitchy friends. Today is Sunday, April 27th, and this is Flosstube number 8. I'm back again with a 2-week update. I worked on 4 projects this week, and I'll just jump right in and show you the progress that I made. The first one that I worked on was the Mareka kit, Woodland Morning, and I was working in this bottom area. I started filling out this tree here. So that, the whole piece, I'll show you. So that's that side, and that's the other side. And if I remember correctly, that brings me to about 12% on this one. So I'll go ahead and open my app real quick. So not including backstitch and French knots, yeah, I'm at about 12% on that one. So I made a little bit of progress. I think I wasn't quite at 12% last time. The next one I did was I started and finished, I think, if I remember correctly, the April installment of the Tree of Life Sal by Climbing Goat Designs. And this month we were up in this corner and we did the little crab and the shrimp and the centipede, the scorpion, the spider, and the little nematode right there, which are super cute. So I'll give you a bigger view. So that's this one so far. I believe this one runs until November. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7 more releases. I'll give you all the numbers for everything here in a minute. The next thing I worked on was the Extraordinary Birds Sal by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. And I was working mostly down here the past 2 weeks. So I stitched all the way down, and I've begun working on like the grass and the dirt down here. I can't remember, I don't think I had this little guy done yet when I showed you guys last, but I've done some Stitch With Me's for this one. So that's that one, and this cute little needle minder is in my shop. I have a bunch of them. I ordered like a 15 pack of wood cutouts and turned them all into needle minders. All right, and the last one that I worked on, this was actually a start for the past 2 weeks. This is a Hade. This is the one that I was talking about maybe starting in my last video. And as you can see, I have stretched it over these scroll bars and folded it over because this is going to be massive. But this is my little top left start of Childhood Sweethearts. The artwork is by Jim Warren, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Straighten it out a little bit there. And these are 2 needle minders that I also made. I do have another set of pins of the little girl and the little boy, so if you were interested in buying those, I could totally make those for you. Now for stats. So the Tree of Life stitch along, I ended up putting 908 stitches into to finish it up, and that got 5 days. And that doesn't include the back stitch because I use Pattern Keeper, and the back stitch is separate. And then on the bird stitch along, I put in 2,217 stitches, and that got 6 days. I think I'm sitting at about 70-something% done with the frame. I'll pull it up. There it is. I'm at 76.49% done with the frame. So probably by the next time you see me with an update, I'll be done with the frame. Let's see, where did I get with the Childhood Sweethearts Hade? I'm at 13.93%, but I cropped it. So I've checked off 15 rows on the top and 15 rows on the bottom and 25 rows on the right and 25 rows on the left. So that equaled 13.6557%. So I'm at 13.93%, so I've done less than 1%, but I think it's looking pretty good. I started with the max color. Nope, definitely can't do that. That's crazy talk. I started doing the first block in max color, and I was quite literally changing colors every 1 or 2 stitches. So that wasn't gonna fly. So I switched to the regular color version of the chart, and I actually wrote it down. The first day that I worked on that, I did like 20 stitches. The second day, I got like 30 stitches done, right, on the max color. And then I was like, I can't do this. And then I ended up getting over 200 stitches done. And today I've done probably 500. So I definitely prefer the regular version of the chart. Max colors is just nuts. I'm gonna see if I can pull up. Yeah, 565 stitches plus 56. So a little over 600 stitches I've done today on the regular version of the chart. And it's just flown. It's been super easy. So I'm definitely gonna stick with that version. When I had purchased the chart originally, it looked like it was gonna be better in the end with the max colors, but it's not worth the extra time. So yeah, so that's the stitching I got done the past 2 weeks. That brings the total stitches in the past 2 weeks to about a little more than 4,000, because I didn't include today's total in this number, which is 3,632. So if we add like 500 to that, that's like 4,100. Another thing I did this week was go through my DMC collection and de-stash everything, or de-kit everything, I should say. Sorry, I got a notification. And reorganized my floss into all 4 of my bobbin boxes. So I'm now working from all of my bobbin boxes for each project. And this is definitely a little more difficult per project, but I don't have to like go searching for a specific color for the Haid when I'm like, well, where's this color? Like you probably saw in my last, in the Stitch With Me I did for it. So that's that. That's what I've done the past 2 weeks. I did do a catalog sheet. All these ones in pink you see are actually for the Haid that I'm working on. And there's 19 that I'm missing. So I'm hoping I can get those at some point. There's a couple of them in these first couple of boxes that I'm gonna need to finish those up. But no rush on that. So aside from that, yeah. I post all of my updates on Instagram. I post pictures. I post needle minders that I make and list for sale in my shop, which is mainlyxstitch.com with an X, mainlyxstitch.com. And then you can find me on Instagram at mainly_xstitch for mainly cross stitch. And that's it. That's all I got for you. I don't work on a ton of projects in a couple of weeks. Not recently anyway, so I don't have a bunch to pull out and show you. But I did do quite a few stitches. I did more stitches in the past 2 weeks than I had the previous 2 weeks. So that's good. One thing I was considering filming all of my cross stitching for the Haid, but I'm realizing that that's too much editing to do. So you're just gonna have to follow me on Instagram and watch for my progress pictures, because that's a lot of filming to do. And aside from that being a huge chunk of time, my computer and my phone storage are crying a little bit. So so follow me. Also, another order of business. At 1,500 followers, I'm thinking of doing some kind of giveaway. I'm not sure exactly what yet. Maybe I'll do like a voucher for my website or something. We'll figure it out. So yeah, like, subscribe, do all the things. See you next time. Bye, guys.